Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon or morning or evening perhaps, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host Reg, and this is the one, the only NJSSL official, unofficially official talk show and podcast. This is the Cutting Reg. We're 3 weeks into the season now, and it's been quite a season in football. There's been a lot of upsets, a lot of unfortunate injuries, and a lot of crazy things that have happened over the last 3 weeks. And you don't have to ask anybody, but if you ask the Jaguars, they'll agree. There's been a lot of craziness the last few weeks. But today we're going to be accompanied by the one and only head coach of the 3-0 Lions, the captain, who is returning back on our show after a few weeks of hiatus to tell us about how his Lions have been doing, how they've been mentally preparing, how the season has been going for them. They are on top along with the Titans, but unfortunately for the Titans, they're not their head coach, but they are their star player, not the professor, but ZJ, their first star player, has been too afraid to show up on the podcast. Maybe he'll join us later. But until then, we're going to be accompanied by the one, the only Mehdi Razvi. Mehdi, my man, you've been introduced, my friend, and we are live. So first off, how are you feeling?
Alhamdulillah, I'm feeling good, Reg. Um, it's always a pleasure to be on the show.
Excellent. And it's always a pleasure to have you. I know we talked a little bit earlier this week about, or I guess it was last week, about how we thought the third week went of football. And today, I think I just want to focus on the Lions, how the last 3 weeks have gone for them, and how we anticipate the rest of the season going. So I guess
Yeah,
first, so go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say the Lions, we started off, I think when we talked, preseason, we talked about how with most teams, they had a lot of players that were new to the league, and the Lions were no exception. A lot of guys, about half the team actually hadn't played at all, last season, or even in NJSSL period. So a lot of new faces, a lot of people to meet and ultimately assimilate into the Lions culture, you might say. So we started off not knowing each other all that well. We've certainly grown together as a team, and I think that shows on the field.
Yeah, no, it certainly does. And one of the big talking points for the Lions is that not only are you guys 3-0, but you were a team that a lot of people had undermined and had, ranked very low. And one of the main reasons for that is this so-called lack of wide receivers. I mean, you have a lot of receivers. They might not be very wide in size, but they're pretty skilled at least, so what do you have to say about like, some of your top receivers and how they've been doing?
I'd say there's always going to be naysayers out there, but for us, what we focus on is the team effort. So we don't say, "Oh, okay, we've got like this one alpha receiver that we need to get the ball every play." It's more like we all kind of accept our roles, and the receivers are no exception. They play for the team. They're selfless, and I'm proud of them for that. So we don't need a number one receiver. We've got all number one receivers. You can put it that way.
Hussein Abdi, Irtaza, although I guess that's not fair. Whoever else are the number one receiver, Zuni,
Yeah.
you got he's calling you out. The Lions are calling you out. Now, what we can talk about is speaking of Zuni, is last week you played the Ravens, and I know you had a lot of strong feelings about how that game went. So that was the Lions and the Ravens. Tell us about what you thought gave you the edge in that game.
So yeah, going into the game, I know both teams were a little undermanned. We were down two O linemen and our entire starting D line, uh, and then they were down their QB, in Ozair. So we both had some deficits, and that we had to call on the bench sort of and to call on the other players to make up for. And I think both teams actually did a pretty admirable job in doing so. The Ravens kind of focused on their run game a little bit more, so more QB runs, more handoffs, more jet sweeps, that sort of thing, knowing that they didn't have that traditional pocket passer in Ozair. Um, we also tried to get the ball out pretty quick, involved everyone as much as we could. And it was a close game ultimately till the end. I know there was a lot of back and forth, and even after the game, some discussion of replacement refs and how that seemed to possibly play a factor. But unfortunately, that's all part of the game, and both sides had to sort of deal with that adversity of dealing with refs, who some of whom were refereeing for the first time and just didn't have as strong a handle on the rules, handle on the game. So it was a great game. Definitely props to the Ravens. They game planned for us really well. But ultimately we came out with the victory, anyway we cut it.
Yeah, no, and you guys, it certainly was a close game, and you guys did a good job. Let's talk about some of the strong points for the Lions. The first strong point I'll put out is Ali Shah, aka corner number one, aka corner of the year, aka the one man who is able to stop Zuni. How did that matchup go?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the Ravens didn't get Zuni the ball as much as they probably, could have tried to. Him being one of the top receivers in the league, we all know that. We know last season he was making those circus catches, Calvin Johnson type catches, over everybody, and we were fortunate to have Ali Shah to match up against him. I think there's probably some opportunities for them to get him the ball, but they didn't look
Let
that way
me
as much.
let me interfere for a second. Now this game was not like, I don't think it was on YouTube, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. Now, do you think that it was Ali Shah that was doing just as great as covering Zuni, or do you think that the struggles were in Ken? Because I think Ken was playing quarterback. So do you think that he was not the right guy for that role against the Lions?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I think Ken also played pretty well. They weren't looking Zuni's way all that much. I think because maybe Ali Shah's first few games have struck the fear in the hearts of quarterbacks across the league. Like
Ali
where
Shah should be striking fear in everyone, regardless of what position. All right, you do not want an angry Ali Shah. Trust me, been there, done that, ain't going back.
yeah.
But go
Hey,
on,
listen,
yeah.
listen. I hope everyone pokes and prods Ali Shah throughout the rest of the season because that guy plays like a monster under pressure.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. Adi Shah, on the other hand, now you can treat him like the little 12-year-old that he is. I mean, I'm more afraid of Chavez than I am of Adi. So,
Well, unfortunately, with the game not being on YouTube, you missed some key Uddy moments, and I will call him out for that today. He kicked not one but two clutch field goals, one of which was the game-winning field goal. He defended Zaire twice on clear touchdowns. He just stuck his hand up at the last minute. I believe it was consecutive plays also where he just swatted the ball out of the air. Ken threw it right in the breadbasket to Zaire, but Uddy was playing solid defense and he caught a touchdown. So the guy had a
okay, all
great
right.
game. He had a great game, and I'm looking forward to many more from Uddy. I actually texted him that morning. I'm like, hey, we're gonna need your leg today, Uddy. So he warmed up and he did great.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll give that one to him. Again, it's against a Ravens team that's still kind of finding their footing right now. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad he did well. But we'll use that as a segue to the upcoming week. It is the Lions and the Eagles. Now, the Eagles are a strong 2-1 team. Arguably, could be 3-0. They have run rampant in this league, and I emphasize the word run because Farhan is almost an impossible guy to stop once he is off running. But how are the Lions looking to match up against the Eagles? And I don't
Yeah,
mean just Sugar Uncle. I mean, like, I'm sure you guys can match up against him, but they've got a strong team with the rest of the team in mind.
listen, they got plenty of guys. Shajon caught a pick six last week, so we're not
That's
gonna we're
true.
not gonna
That's
take anything
true.
away from them.
Again, against the Jaguars, but that's true.
Yeah, listen, against anyone. So he's listen, they're a solid team. They're well coached. They got a almost unstoppable quarterback. He's the fantasy leader. He kicks field goals. He does everything. So, it's a very tough task always to play against Farhan number one pick. But it's not just Farhan anymore. Right now, they got other guys. They got Faisal. They got a decent D line. They got everything going for them. So they got
No, that's definitely
Mustafa Hassan.
true.
They got him.
I think yeah. So I was just about to say, Papa Mus.
Yeah.
He's been one of their top guys. He was expected to do some damage, but I think he was picked in the fourth round or so. Faisal not he's playing well, but I don't think he's playing quite like the number two pick that they wanted him to be. But Papa Mus is stepping up right in his absence. So I think that's definitely a dangerous combo. Farhan to Mustafa could go anything could happen.
Yep, I mean, absolutely. So I think the key to the game will be just to, they're a strong team. We're a strong defense as well, so we just got to get after them. Make sure Farhan is not getting off easy throws or easy runs for that matter. And just control what we can control, play the Lions game, you know.
No, it's a great way to do it. That's a great way to do it. All right, now let's ask the questions that everybody wants to know the answers to. First off, Chubby Pipe. He's been an excellent lineman for you guys, but will he be able to keep up with anybody on the Eagles, including Shojungle?
Well, what's the issue? He's dominant, he's Chubby Rizvi, and that's all you need to know. He's the heart of our Lions defense. He's the heart of our Lions O line, D line. So he can keep up with anyone. I don't put anything past that guy. He's got the heart of a lion. So
He does. That's fair. He's actually on the right team because he has the heart of the lion. He has the heart of the lion. Unfortunately, I don't know currently the status of his legs. They might be more like a turtle right now, given the injuries that he's been kind of on and off with. And along those same lines, I think Saj Uncle also, who has been a lineman for you guys as well. I don't know. I saw him playing cricket the other day. Now, is that guy's head in the game, or is he often, playing cricket right now, or worried
you're
about
sitting
that?
here, you're sitting here talking about lions. You're talking about crickets. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know
Listen, man,
what do we.
welcome to the jungle. All right, this is the jungle out here.
Yeah, yes, sir. So yeah, I mean, listen, that's the thing about the Lions. We got athletes, so let them play whatever they want as long as they're, when it's game day and it's time to focus, we're ready to go. So
Okay.
what they do in their personal times is for their personal time.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, now third and most important question: Farhan has repeatedly, not repeatedly, but has definitely successfully been able to get into the head of Ali Shah, and he's one that knows how to play cerebrally against Ali Shah to make him feel like he is not the best corner in the league. And I'm sure Farhan is very welcoming and very excited to shut him down. So what if Ali Shah's head is not in the game, or if he is unable to match up with Farhan, then I think that all hope could be lost for the Lions, and they might have the first loss of the season right here. What are your
Well,
thoughts?
listen, we'll see. I fully expect Farhan to come out there playing QB, and I think Ali Shah will be the heart of our secondary. So I think it'll certainly be a matchup to watch. But the thing is, Farhan is excellent. Farhan is consistently good. He's worthy of the number one overall pick. But you can bet that Shah has a chip on his shoulder, being passed up for that number one overall pick, and it's to my benefit. I'm happy to have him, of course, but I think he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder, and as we discussed earlier, you don't want Ali Shah playing with a chip on his shoulder.
That's true. I mean, both of these guys are vying for that MVP position this year, for that MVP trophy this year. So anything could happen. They're both going to be playing hard, and I think the rest of the teams are going to be playing hard. So hard, in fact, that I think we got especially with the amount of younger guys that are very hormonally charged, one might say. There might be a lot of a lot of this and a lot of penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct that might be thrown out in this game. So I'm going to point out the refs in this game, the Lions versus the Eagles. Zunair as the head ref, On Abbas, Shabir Sayed, and Qasim Rizvi. Let me tell, and Zohaib on camera. So let me tell you, historically, Zohaib is one of those guys on camera who you gotta watch what you're saying, Zohaib, because we know you're cursing on camera. Stop it. All right. Jeez, guy. Anyways, and then meanwhile, Shubber, we all know that he's not going to stop anybody from being unsportsmanlike. Zunair is probably going to be very quiet, so I think it's really up to Qasim and On to kind of lay that down. But do you think that? How do you anticipate this set of refs influencing the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a very fair set of refs. I think, and Owen especially, I think, he's always looking to get a handle on the rules and make sure everyone else has a handle on the rules. He's always looking to improve the rule book. So I have full faith in him to, execute the rules to the fullest. And as far as the other guys, I think they'll be fine. I think the hopefully the era of replacement refs is over. We're not going to have any golden tape situation, the catch that whatever it was called, the catch that never happened. The replacement refs screwed it up. I know that.
I mean, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I agree.
All right. Yeah. See, that's how forgettable it was.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, I guess we'll leave us with this. What are your final thoughts for the Eagles? And just what do you have to say to them?
Yeah. No, I got to say to them that I'm a stout jersey guy. I love the Eagles, but not this Sunday. All right, not this Sunday. This Sunday we're gonna bring it. Hope you guys bring it as well. Hope we have a nice competitive game, and we'll shake your hand at the end. Don't worry.
All right, Mustafa, Farhan. Well, I guess Farhan should be fine. But Mustafa and anybody that comes from South Jersey, if the Lions lose, then you guys aren't getting a ride home. So just keep that in mind as you're playing them. Thankfully, I guess most of the guys that use you for rides probably aren't on the Eagles, right? Rehan, maybe.
Yeah, Rehan's there, but I may just not give him a ride this weekend. We'll see.
Maybe you just won't get a ride there. You won't even show up to the game. All right.
I want to bring Sean, but not Rehan.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, that's another thing to watch out for, the brother-brother matchup between Sean and Rehan. Anyways, in the meantime, thank you, Mehdi, for joining us. This was a short and sweet interview. This is part one of this week's podcast. We'll have part two later, today or at some point it'll come up, and we'll go from there. As usual, if you have any comments, questions, thoughts, ideas for the podcast, please, let any of us know. You can let me know, Reg, how to find me. And if you don't have any thoughts for the podcast, then, you should at least just watch it because, why not? Anyways.
I'm on it.
Okay, exactly, because we have the head coach of the Lions, all right. And next week or not next week, but our later episode, we hope to get the head coach of the Titans. He was too shy to show up. Maybe he's afraid of the Lions. I don't know, but we'll see if we can get him in there. Until next time, folks. Have a good night, and wa alaikum assalam.